I was born and raised in Iran as a Muslim. My family was nominally Muslim, so there was never a conversation about religion at home. When I was 6, I had a vision of the Virgin Mary. I was in a mountainous place, it was dark, I fell and I couldn't get up. And there was this huge rock. This lady came from behind the rock. She was all in white. She held my hand, picked me up, and she said that she was Mary. And something just went through me and I loved her. So I asked my mom who Mary was, and she told me that she was the mother of Prophet Jesus. Since then, God planted a seed of love in my heart, and I knew that I wanted to be where Mary was, and I had no idea where that was. Eventually, I received my calling into ministry when I was 9, after watching a movie called The Song of Bernadette. I knew since then that my life belonged to the church, and I had no idea what the church was. I got married when I was very young. I was 15, and my ex-husband, he was a Sunni Muslim, I was Shia. And Sunnis are a persecuted minority in Iran. So we had to leave Iran through a very dangerous path. But God was with us every step of the way. We had to go to Turkey and from there to Mexico. We were in Mexico for a year because the smugglers who were supposed to take us to Canada to get political asylum, they just left us in the middle of Mexico City, the largest city in the world, with nothing. It was extremely scary and very, very difficult. After a year, we came to the US, we crossed the border at New Laredo, we walked through the river, Rio Grande, and applied for political asylum. I wanted to go to California because that's where most Iranians are. My husband wanted to come to Dallas. And I said, okay, so we came to Dallas. We got to Dallas bus station at 7 in the morning. We had no idea where to go or what to do. We had no caseworker to meet us there or no one to rent us an apartment. We were just on our own, and it was very scary. A cab driver took us to a Motel 6 from downtown bus station. I saw Yellow Pages, which I had never seen one before. I started looking, saw apartment locators, and found out that we couldn't rent an apartment because we didn't have jobs or social security numbers. But as I was turning the pages, I saw Islamic Center, so I called them up and they gave me the phone number of a lady who worked with refugees. I called the lady, she sent someone to us, and at 9:30 in the morning, someone was at our door and he asked us if we wanted to go with him to see an apartment that he had, fully furnished apartment. And by 11:30 that morning, we were in our own apartment. We had done our grocery shopping. We had paid him a month of rent in a city that we didn't know a soul, with no documentations. Now these people, they were Christians, but they had worked with Bosnian refugees who were Muslims. That's how the mosque knew of them. And they had prepared that apartment for a Bosnian family that was supposed to come a month before us. They never showed up. So the apartment was just sitting there. We walked right into it a month after they had prepared and furnished that apartment. This man, after he learned about my interest in Christianity, he invited me to church, and I went, and it was immediately home. It was a loving church, and I was baptized there after 6 months. Eventually, I went to seminary here at Perkins and earned my Master of Divinity and then Doctor of Ministry in Missional Church Studies. And then as I was discerning my call into ministry to see which area I was supposed to serve, I started praying through my own life and what God had taught me through those experiences. And I started a ministry called Gateway of Grace. Gateway of Grace is a ministry that's based on my own experience as a refugee, what the church had done for us and how it had changed our lives. It's a ministry that's based on my experience as someone who has been a Muslim, who comes from a culture that's very different from American culture. And it has been a tremendous blessing to be a part of this ministry and see how God is at work through the ministry of Gateway of Grace. At Gateway of Grace, we see God's work in the lives of refugees every day. He brings transformation, healing, and restoration into their lives. And we are so blessed to be a part of that. Will you join us and be a part of God's redeeming work in the lives of refugees for whom Christ has died? Thank you.